Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan. This is basically 57th part of the Formula Award basically. And we are going to discuss a little bit more about the Formula Award, what the Formula Award is, and exactly that we have discussed lots of things. In 56th part, we have discussed lots of things, and this is 57th part basically, we can say. And in 57th part, basically, we are going to discuss a little bit more about the Formula Award basically. One person actually asked the another person that basically from where you got this whole information about the formulas basically. Then the another person told that basically exactly I can't remember the thing basically because from where basically whether this information I got from internet or basically somebody has told me. Then basically the another person told that yeah, it's very difficult to track basically from where this you got the information basically. Reason behind this is basically, for example, there is one person who got the information and he assumed that he is getting tracked by the satellites videos. Then basically it's easy. Then basically you can say that this person has got this information from this area and this from this internet or from this person. But basically the person who is not getting tracked from the videos or from the satellite cameras or from cameras, then basically that person's information to track that is very difficult because you there is no methodology in this world which will say that basically this information is got from whether the internet or from the person basically because for example assume that uh, there is no human, there is no internet that time basically the communication was happening through energies only basically, right? So that time basically it was happening through energy, but nowadays basically it's not like that. So it's very difficult to then the mechanism basically if you try to find out basically that from where this communication has happened from energy level also basically if you try to search the data basically from where this information has got, then also the chain basically to track the this information basically it's very difficult. Reason might be lots of basically it's basically might be connected with lots of things basically. So this is basically about the information basically the person basically told that from where this information has got. So now basically we are talking about the formula word, and in this formula word basically bank says that we have done lots of investment in the each and every sector basically. And each and every sector here basically we are talking about the software industry sector. And in software industry sector basically bank says that we have invested lots of money in your controls basically which you are using basically in which you basically you are developing the software. So basically whatever control basically you are whatever tools basically you are working and whatever things basically software you are going to develop from the base software basically on that base software and the software which you have already developed. So from that basically we are basically doing the investment basically. So according to that basically if the company owner don't have the money basically then basically he gets the sponsorship. Few basically people say that we don't have the money basically then basically he required the sponsorships are there, and many basically things are there basically like this bank says that we are doing the lots of investment, and investment basically we don't do basically we collect the money and then basically only we can do the investment because whatever money we have that basically we invest at certain places basically, and whatever money which is collected from the mutual fund each and everything basically that has to be in the land side basically. Land side means it has to be invested in land basically. It can be city, it can be in technology wise, it can be in medical industry, but it has to be invested because investment says that whatever money you have taken from the people, from the investor basically from the software professionals, that basically money you have to give one day back also. Reason this is an investment which is given by which is done by the software company software professionals basically, and that basically money you have to give back also. For that basically you can't keep one day money also with you. You have to invest each and every things basically, and this is basically one of the rotational basically you can say invest them. One example also I have taken about the investment basically. For example, There is one person, bank basically who invested their money of the software professional to the text box area. Basically, text box equal to thousand cities. So basically, that text box basically creates oil, energy, oil data, and oil means oil basically production of which human needs use. Human basically uses basically petrols are there, then basically vegetables are there, then fruits are there. Like this, basically they have invested the money into this, and after certain time, basically they gets the return also. So after return, basically how they gets the return? Returns basically that is by default by the human in basically they do the investment, they do the production, then basically the retail industry, the corporate industry purchases, and then basically it goes to the market, and then the market purchases, and then basically retail people only basically that are basically public purchase the items, and then basically it comes again back to the banks basically in the form of the investment return basically you can say. So like this basically investment returns are also there, and investment returns means basically um, that connects to the price basically, and price is also nowadays is getting increased because the investment maps basically are getting increased. Like this basically lots of things are the strategies are getting increased, strategies are getting changes basically of the investment basically. From banks basically the money is getting invested to the certain areas, then basically it get rotates to the market, and then again come back to the bank. Like this basically the money is getting invested, and the banks are getting the money back also. So like this basically the money is getting invested, and then money is getting back, then again the software professional basically gets the money back also. And then banks are also not doing the charity basically, so they also keeps out certain percentage of amount with them basically. Like this basically the investment professionals are doing the investment, and they taking the money also, and then they are giving the money also in the return in the form of basically interest is there, then lots of mutual funds are there, and then lots of commissions are there. Like this basically the monies are, and for this basically lots of groups basically that are basically IIMs, IITs, um, MBA groups are there, Oxford University groups are there, Harvard University groups are there. There are many of university in India basically. Um, Delhi University is there, then Mumbai University is there, Vadodara University is there. Like this, basically, there are many university. They basically says that we do up to the level plan that basically investment 100% gets back basically, because the planning is up to that level basically you can say. So that the basically the things basically you want to generate, that basically you 100% gets generates basically, because the management says that we do up to the level the plan. For that basically we do the charge also basically, because if one Harvard University person is joining the company, and basically he's telling that I want this much money, then basically he will get basically, because it's his education is up to that level, and then basically his network is also up to that level. So basically he will get the money. But if one normal person studying in the small university, then basically it's very difficult to get him lots of good salary structure. He will get the salary structure good, but not up to the level basically the Harvard University. Harvard basically they people gets in crores basically, crores of rupees basically you can say. But in normal university you will not get this much amount. So that basically depends upon the network, the power of the university, the power of the degree basically you can say. Like this basically each and every things are connected, but ultimately it comes to the knowledge only, that how much knowledge, whether you are studying in done the study in Harvard, or whether you have done the study in normal university. Ultimately it comes to knowledge, how much you have the knowledge, and up to what level you can do the construction work basically you can say. Like this basically, but everything connects to the information chain also basically, up to what level do you have the information, up to what level. For example, the text box example I have taken, the text box example, text box equal to 1,000 cities basically. It's created from 1,000 cities, like right. So this is basically one information basically, and this if this information connects to the for project form management plan, and to the formulas and the attributes, then basically the project value is project cost, everything basically is going to the up to nice level basically. And basically software industry, the percentage of amount they are earning, then they will earn a little bit more basically. If you are taking each and every attributes in the each and every data, each and every sectors, each and every information to the project management plan on the attributes, then basically you are going to get good return money also, because software industry's main income is this management plan only. Up to what level you do the management, and up to what level you have analyzed the costing everything of the softwares basically. For example, I have taken one example, project management plan formulas are there. Assume thousand formulas are there, and that thousand formulas are created from 5,000 attributes. Like this basically 5,000 attributes basically has 5,000 more than 5,000 balance sheet basically. Otherwise, if you will not create the balance sheet, mostly it has been like this only, because the balance without balance sheet basically how you can do the costing, that is the main question basically. So like this basically the balance sheet is created of the each and every attributes which is taken captured in the formula basically. So like this each and every things are getting calculated, and this is basically little bit about the formula word also again. This is basically 57th part, and in 58th part we are going to discuss little bit more about the formula word.